It's not really a very tidy story, is it? There's no last-minute rescue to save Jesus from the cross. This is a story worked out through weak and fearful human beings, each of them struggling to hold on to what they have, and they are all doing it. Pilate is trying to protect his job. The Jewish authorities, with their special privileges, also want to preserve the status quo. Peter and the other disciples want to hold on to their master, but they also want to keep their own lives. It's a story of small choices making huge differences. Pilate could have chosen to release Jesus. It really made no difference to him. He didn't believe that Jesus was a threat to the empire. But the die had been cast. Choices had been made. Jesus would die. There were many choices which all contributed to this ending. Judas could have said, "I won't betray my master." But Jesus wasn't doing what Judas thought he should be doing. The high priest could have said, "You're just another teacher, no more, no less. Go home, stop bothering us." But the high priest felt his authority was threatened. Jesus wasn't doing what the high priest thought he should be doing. Pilate could have said, "You may not crucify this innocent man." But he feared the unraveling of his own power. So Pilate made a choice, and he chose himself. Peter could have said, "Yes, I was with him. I know him." Yes, each of them could have said something different, yet none of them did. We all make choices, and many of our choices are wrong. Unfortunately, it's part of the human condition. We're made in God's image, capable of knowing right from wrong, and yet free to choose wrongly, to choose ourselves rather than God, to follow our own will rather than God's will for our lives. And in so doing, we walk away from that image that God created for us. Choices. We all make them. Some good, some bad. Someone tells a racist joke and people laugh, yet we say nothing. "I do not know him," Peter said. How often, like Pilate, do we turn away from the truth because we are too afraid of how it might change our lives? Jesus' trial is a sham. The decision had already been made. He is too threatening to the existing order. So it is not Jesus on trial here. The real trial is going on outside, as Peter's faith is tested and found wanting. 3 times the one who would have taken up his sword for Jesus denies even knowing his Lord. It is not Jesus on trial here. It is us. It is we who try to use the world's ways to save ourselves when God's way lies before us. It is we who fall away and deny our heritage when things get too tough. It is we who live in fear in a world that now seems to have spun out of control. And yet, we have tamed the one person who can give us the courage to face this world. Dorothy Sayers says that the people who hanged Christ never accused him of being a bore. On the contrary, they thought him too dynamic to be safe. It has been left for later generations to muffle up that shattering personality and surround him with the atmosphere of tedium. We are the ones who have turned Jesus into a bumper sticker in a world of commuters, this man who insulted the clergy and called them hypocrites, who partied with disreputable people showed no proper deference for the wealth or social position, and was a friend of publicans and sinners. So officialdom felt that the established order of things would be more secure without him, and they did away with God in the name of peace and quietness. The real tragedy is that we continue to do this today. We want to tame Jesus because as much as we profess to love him, we want to love the Jesus who makes us feel safe. We want to love the Jesus that does not challenge us, but challenges us the Jesus that challenges us to forgive, regardless of the injury. We want to love the Jesus who fixes the broken parts of the world, not the Jesus who wades into the dirty water of our lives to share our grief, rather than make it go away. We want to love the Jesus who is present in our pretty churches, not the Jesus who calls us out into the street to care for the homeless, the winos, and the crack baby. So in a multitude of ways, we crucify him over and over by rendering him harmless in plastic and brass and plaster, in stickers on the windows of our car, and T-shirts that our teenagers wear. We've remade Jesus in our image until he is no threat to us at all. Because otherwise, we too would be forced to kill him. But isn't that exactly what we do when we tame him? We kill him when we tame him. My brothers and sisters, each time we deny Jesus in our lives, we are putting another nail in his hand, just as much as those people did over 2,000 years ago. Each time we refuse to forgive someone or something, each time we refuse to love our neighbor, regardless of his or her worthiness, each time we refuse to allow ourselves to be served as much as to serve, we are saying, I don't know him. On this day we strangely call Good Friday, we are confronted with death in all its intensity and inevitability. There is an emptiness in us as we contemplate what it means to be without Jesus. Then we long for the security of Easter morning. For today and tomorrow are days of waiting. Jesus has been laid in the tomb and he is dead. Today and tomorrow are days of grief for ourselves, for all the things we cling to which make our lives comfortable and secure, and grief for a world which kills the truth. As we stand at the foot of the cross, let us acknowledge and embrace our grief. Let us wait and pray, and let us hope for what is to come. For if we resist the temptation to run too quickly past this part of the Passion, but remain for a moment in a personal admission of the truth that we are the ones who were there, we are the ones who denied him, then very early on Sunday morning, this God we love will take each of our hands and will say to us, come with me. I want to show you the sunrise that comes at the end of this long, dark night.